everybody, this is Chris at Morph Reptiles. Thank you for joining me once again. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody is staying home and staying safe and kind of staying away from this madness. If you guys are new here, please consider liking and subscribing and hitting that notification bell. What that notification bell does for you is it keeps you in the loop of all my upcoming videos. Also, if you guys could really help me out by hitting that like button, helps me with my YouTube endeavors and just helps me get my message out there. Before we get started, on my comments and also on Messenger and Instagram, I get texts all the time asking me questions. So when I choose what videos to make, it's usually what I get the most questions about. And this week was when I get a lot. Is it cost effective to breed rats? And I'm just going to do a short video of the effectiveness of breeding your own rats and the cost effectiveness, because like right now, if I bought frozen, I'd be paying anywhere from $750 to $800 a month on frozen rats, and I don't pay that much breeding my own. So I'll just do a short video here of how much it saves me personally breeding my own rats. And now I'm doing this on a small scale because I'm doing how much it would actually take me to feed my snakes. So it might be less for you, might be more for you. I have the potential with just these 2 racks to breed almost 500 rats a month. I wouldn't do that because I don't need that many, but you could probably for a couple months before your rats got tired, so you can't overbreed your rats. But I'm kind of giving you an idea of what I need personally and what I would keep if I had to get rid of all my other rats and all my other stuff, what I would keep just to feed my own. So I hope this video helps. Right now I'm in a situation where I have about 80 plus animals that need rats. So I added up, if I got frozen, it's going to cost me almost $800 a month for frozen. That sounds crazy for a lot of people. It is what it is for me because I have lots of animals. Not all of you have that many animals. Not all of you have that many snakes. I do. But first of all, I'm going to give you a breakdown of what the average person probably needs, the average upkeep, and is it worth it? So first of all, let's say you're gonna make a couple racks. I can recommend some videos that you should go check out how to build a rack. There's a guy named Morph Mixology. He probably has the best video I've seen of making a rack, and I will actually give a link below. So all my racks are 6 tubs high. They cost me about $175 to make, and the reason why I say about is because wood prices fluctuate. Sometimes the wood was $2, sometimes it was $1.50. It kind of goes around. Wood lumber is one of those things that fluctuates, depends on the year, depends on the time. That's what it is. So right here, it's going to cost about $175 per rack. So strup's gonna cost you around 350 bucks. That'll get you a couple of racks going, and it'll get you breeding. Now here's the thing: is that you can these tubs that we use, you can actually put 4 females in each tub. So if you have 12 tubs with 4 females in it, you can have 48 females breeding in these tubs. And that's if you have some kind of bin to put them in after they get to a certain age. You can weaning bin or a thing. If not, you can always use half of that rack for your grow outs. But let's just say that you want to make these 2 racks to breed these females. So you're gonna put 4 females in each bin. You don't need as many males in every bin. I personally don't. I rotate the males. So like say I have 1 rack here. Right now I only have 4 racks of normal rat. I'm switching over to African soft furs for the most part, but I have 4 racks of normal rats. So 1 week I'll put the males in this rack, and then about 2 weeks from now I'll put it in that rack. 2 weeks from now I'll put it in that rack. The reason why I really slowed down on my normals is because right now of the quarantine, I'm not selling as many because of how I can't really go anywhere. And even the gentleman I was taking them to, they just said, I'll do frozen for now, and we'll get it going after this quarantine's over with. So your average female is going to have anywhere from 10 to 12 babies. That's what I've read online. That's what my experience is. I've actually had some that have up to 18, and I've had some that have about 8, but 10 to 12 is usually your average. So you have a potential of about 576 babies a month. Is that feasible? Not for long term. You don't want to push them that hard. Your females can be overworked. A lot of times I take my females out and give them a rest, or I just don't breed them for a while. You have to give them that time off, but you could probably push them hard for like 3 months and get that many rats. But most of us don't need that many rats. Right now I only need about 80 or so a week. So I'm not working as near as hard. I don't need as many extra, but you can actually produce that if you are in a pinch. Say you have some friends that need some, or you got someone that wants to buy some from you. You can actually breed them hard for a couple months and then back off and have, get you some storage. But I repeat, your females can't do that constantly, and also you're going to want to put some females back and over time replace the bigger females, because there will be a time where they'll no longer produce. And you can usually tell they'll start looking older, or they have smaller litters. So you'll know when your female's time to upgrade her. So let's check that out right here. Okay, so now the upkeep cost for 2 racks. I personally, this is gonna be what I use. It could be less or more. I might use more wood chips than you. I might use more, pellets. I might use different things than you use. But this is what I use for. I have 4 Norwegian racks, so I have to show you the cost. So pine bedding, I buy most of my supplies at Tractor Supply. I do buy it at Co-op. I have switched over to pig food. It's worked really well for me. If you look at the ingredients online, it's almost the same. I was using pig and sow from Purina, but it's been hard to find, so I went to an off-brand at Tractor Supply, which is the same thing. Ironically, Tractor Supply was out of that, so I went back to Purina pig and sow. So it's whatever I can get, but lately I've been getting the Tractor Supply. So I also use what's called Sweet PDZ. It's called a stall refresher. It's not harmful to them. What it does, it just keeps the ammonia down. I sprinkle it on there when I first start out, and sometimes halfway through the week I sprinkle it on there too. It don't take that much, but it really keeps that smell down. And it's actually better for your animals because it's not good for them to breathe in that ammonia smell. Especially rats have a easily compromised respiratory system, so you have to keep them safe. So let's check out, my cost right here. In this video, you can see I saved lots of money breeding rats. So it's definitely saved me time, money, convenience. It's definitely worth it for me. Is it worth it for you? You have to figure that out for yourself. But if I had 15 snakes or more, I would definitely do it. But I can't make a decision for you. I don't know what your situation is, but it's definitely worth it for me. Saved me lots of money, and that's what it is. So what this comes down to is that there's lots of pros to this. And first of all, I always have rats on hand. I know that my rats are healthy. I always have, if my snake don't eat them or something don't eat them, I can always put them back in the rack. I have the right size always. There's a lot of pluses to it, definitely. And there is the cons that you have to clean up after these rats. We also know that rats stink, and there is some cons that way. But if you're only doing 2 racks, the likelihood of having smell issues is low. When I didn't start having problems till I started having 4, 5, 6 racks. But you can get you a little carbon filter inside your room, and it'll really help that smell. Also, that Sweet PDZ, if it does start stinking, you can go sprinkle a little bit more on there. That one bag lasts me a long time. I don't use that much of it. Don't take very much at all. It's pretty cheap. Also, just change your bedding out at least once a week. On that 6th or 7th day, I'm not gonna lie, it starts to smell a little bit, but if you keep on top of it, you won't have that smell. Now, if you start breeding a lot of rats, you will definitely have to vent your room, but a couple racks just to keep, you know, your 20-30 snakes fed is not going to make your house stink. As long as you follow the rules, just change the bedding, put a little bit of PEZ in there, use some pellets, use some pine, just keep it clean, and you won't have that smell. If you have 2 racks, it's not that big of a deal. You can take one day, especially right now with this quarantine, there's plenty of time to do it. But we will eventually go back to work and, you know, come home and do it. But with 2 racks, you're only cleaning out 12 tubs a week. So it's not that hard. It's not that lot of work. But when you're doing what I was trying to do for a while, I was selling rats till this coronavirus came out, and I was breeding a lot more. Right now, my rat keep is way easier because I'm only keeping enough for mine. So I definitely think it's worth it. I think everybody that keeps at least over, I'd say at least over 15 snakes should do it. The cost is so much less. If you take the price of like going to even Big Cheese, which is one of the cheapest ones, and what it costs for the upkeep, it's such a big difference. Here's a yearly upkeep for 2 racks. As you can see, if I bought these frozen, honestly, I'd be spending about $750 to $800 a month on frozen for my snakes. So you can see the cost is so much cheaper for me, especially if I'm just doing it myself. And honestly, you know, once this coronavirus goes away, it's gonna be easy to sell these rats again. Rats are good as gold. Even my pet shop here will take them from me. He'll give me, you know, store credit or give me some kind of money for them. So it's at that place where they're almost as good as gold. Everybody needs rats. I mean, don't mean just because you're a ball python breeder or, you know, you're a snake breeder. There's lots of people that need rats. I mean, monitors, different things need rats. So it's definitely worth doing. Anyways, guys, I hope that helps you out. I hope that answers your questions. Just feel free to comment below, you know, what you want me to talk about in the future. I try to do the most requested, and that's what this one was. I'd appreciate if you guys check out my other videos right here. Also, hit that subscribe button. I will see you next time. You guys stay safe, stay indoors. Well, go outside, but don't go out in public. Later, love you, bye.